Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about this just broke, this broke 30 minutes ago. So I'm really on the ball here, no pun intended with this video. But so I'm reading this from Fox News. Felicity Huffman, Lori Loughlin among 50 snared in elite college cheating scam. So basically it says actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin were among more than 4 dozen people charged in a nationwide college admissions cheating scandal that involved wealthy individuals paying up to $6.5 million to place their children into elite universities, according to court records revealed Tuesday. So this was in order to place their students in top colleges such as Yale, Georgetown, Stanford, USC, UCLA, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they bribed their kids' way into school. Basically, this is another example of celebrities not wanting to abide by the same rules that everybody else has to go through. So the story that really bothers me is actually the Lori Loughlin one, because it's ironic because she's a huge YouTuber. I've seen some of her stuff, especially her college stuff, which is just so ironic, so full circle. But let me first give you a preface if you haven't read this or looked into it yet. So it says that her and her husband allegedly paid $500,000 to have their 2 daughters designated as recruits for the crew team at USC, despite the fact that they did not participate in crew. So it says, however, the feds say that the father sent action photos of their daughters on rowing machines. So this one bothers me in particular because I am a former college athlete. I want to talk about this because I feel like I have a unique perspective on this, and it just really this stuff really bothers me. I hate when people don't feel like the rules apply to them and they feel entitled to things because they have money, or they try to push past rules that are in place and requirements that are in place, and they think that they, deserve special treatment and all of that. Like, this really bothers me. So again, I feel like I have a unique perspective because I was a former college athlete. I played D1 women's soccer at the University of Iowa. I was on the scholarship team, so it's not the club team. It was like the real deal Iowa soccer Big Ten team. So I can put up some pictures of myself, but I just feel like, I haven't really seen that many college athletes with YouTube channels, so I just wanted to talk about it. And ironically, this is really ironic. My college roommate, my freshman year in the dorms, was actually a rower. So we got paired up with athletes our freshman year, as our roommate, and mine just happened to be a rower. I was the only person of our friend group that actually had a rower, so I got to see firsthand what kind of lifestyle and what it takes to be a rower at the Division I level. So USC, they're gonna have a really good crew team because they're by the water, and it's a really big deal. It's a really big deal out in California. So anyway, let me just give you my perspective on first of all, let me tell you how annoyed this makes me, because it takes so much to be a college athlete, and I know people like to make fun of the fact that athletes are usually up in arms about demanding that or suggesting that they should be paid for their time at college, and because they do so much work. And honestly, I agree with that, and I think it's actually I think that college athletes should get paid because of how demanding their schedule is. There is virtually no way for college athletes at the highest level to get jobs. They do not have the time. This is just an example of what my schedule was like. I would have to schedule all of my classes all back to back. And then right after that, I would have 1 hour, and then I would have to go to soccer practice, and that would take me to about 5 or 6, and then I would get home and I would have that little amount of time to shower, eat, and do my homework. So you have virtually, when it's in season, you virtually have no time to do anything else. When I exited the team, because if you follow my channel, I had to medically retire due to a blood disease that I found out during my freshman year. But when I finally retired, not only was it extremely devastating to me because I had lost my entire identity as a person, because my whole life up until then had been soccer, but I realized how much time regular students have. I really realized regular students have a lot of time compared to college athletes. So, and that time can be spent getting internships. That time can be spent volunteering. That time can be spent doing things that college athletes don't have that time to do. So I'm saying it's not easy to be a college athlete, and I'm going to go into more about that. But I also want to say too, why this annoys me so much is because when you fake a spot on a team, I don't know if like the girls knew what their parents were doing, and that they were abusing the system in this way and bribing their kids' way into college. And I don't know that. I'm assuming that they did know that this was going on. And if they did, then that's just, I mean, it's mostly on the parents, but that's bad. So I'm especially annoyed because if they took somebody else's spot on the crew team, that's extremely upsetting, because just how much work it takes to get to that level, to get on that team, earn a spot on that team, and get scholarship money. I think back to what I had to do, and it was my whole life. I literally played club soccer from the time I was in middle school, and I never stopped. I missed homecomings, I missed proms, I missed like important dates. I didn't have time to even have friends. The only friends I had were on my soccer team. I didn't have time to have a social life. I couldn't go to Friday night football games, and I had to spend time, anytime I had to study. I used to do homework on the way to soccer practice every single day after school, and I would leave from high school to go to my soccer practice. That's how much time and effort it takes to get to the top tier level of sports, which USC is 100% a top tier team for crew, for soccer, for any sport. If you go to USC, you are an incredible athlete, and there's no way you didn't work so many hours and put so many hours into it that this is straight up annoying, and it's just wrong. Like, it just is. It's so objectively wrong to bribe your way onto and pretend like you're on a sports team. And if they took somebody's spot, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed, because that just took the spot of somebody who actually was following the rules, was doing all the work. Let me give you an example, because again, I don't know how many rowers have YouTube channels or whatever, so I can kind of speak for them a little bit, because I did know, I roomed with a rower. So basically, I mean, this story just like, it kind of breaks my heart, but it's also like, okay, my roommate she was a rower for actually only like a month. She was on the team for only a month, and then she had to quit, and I'll kind of go into that. But every day I saw her wake up before 5 a.m. And again, I woke up with her because we're in this tiny ass dorm room. And every day I watched her wake up. She would get out of bed, get her stuff, and she would be at practice till I did not see her for the rest of the day. I didn't see her. Nobody ever saw, like, so all the athletes knew each other at Iowa. We all live in the same dorm. None of us, and we all knew each other. Everybody knew who each other was. No one ever saw the rowers. They were always on a different schedule than all the other athletes. Their schedule was so different and just time consuming. It was almost like being a swimmer. Because they have to wake up so early to get all the way over there. My roommate had to travel so far to even get to like the crew house and the boathouse, that it would take her, like, she would have to leave like 30 minutes early, on top of it being already so early in the morning. So another example too is she brought me once to the training center, because she wanted to show me what kind of workouts that they were doing, and she wanted to show me like how to row. And it is a total full body workout, and it is one of the most strenuous exercise activities I've ever done. And I've played every single sport. I played college soccer, everything. Like, it is so intense. If you've ever done it correctly, you know what I'm talking about. And you need such a specific technique too, that it's just, I'm so annoyed by this. I'm just so annoyed by this. And another thing too is just think about how many hours rowers, and like how many mornings they woke up 5 a.m., 4 a.m. to get to like all of their meets. Think about how many regattas you have to attend to be on a crew team. This is so annoying that they just pushed past all of this work that normal people do to earn their way into the college that they wanted to. Think about how many people it's their dream to go to USC, to be a part of the USC crew team. I'm so annoyed. Well, here's another thing to take into consideration. College sports at that level are so mentally strenuous and just almost borderline traumatic because of the level of competition. It's hard to be, to fail and to not get the spot that you want and to be competing against all these people who are also the best of the best. It's not like high school anymore where it's pretty easy to be the best. It's so difficult, and a lot of people characterize, and I totally can attest to this, a lot of people characterize mental health of college athletes as being a silent crisis because it's something that's not really talked about, but it's definitely, when you're in the community and you can see it and you talk to everybody, you can see everybody, almost everybody is struggling mentally with depression. It's hard to talk about because you're supposed to be like a strong athlete, and it totally goes against the norms of being a college athlete is to go seek help or to admit that you can't do it or you can't do something. It's always like a power through attitude. So my rower roommate was no different. The reason why she quit a month in is because it was too difficult on her, and she wanted to dedicate more time to being a student, because that's why you're, ultimately there. And I mean, not to give away too much personal information about her, but I mean, she had a single mom, and they had to make a decision together. Am I going to give up my scholarship and so I can be a better student? And they had to make that decision, and that's tough. So this kind of stuff bothers me. I just want to give my perspective as a former college athlete, as to why this is so wrong, in my opinion. There's legally it's wrong, and morally it's wrong. This is probably more on the moral side of it. It's like you took somebody, you're pretending to do this. I mean, college is something where it's one of the greatest accomplishments that somebody can have in their lifetime, and it's something that nobody can take away from them. Your college degree is something nobody can take from you, and to just to fake it and to push past it and just think about all the hard work that normal students have to put in to get into these schools, and to just think that you can bypass something like this with money. I just think it highlights a really, really huge issue, and I would not be surprised if more people were found out to have done this, more celebrities to have done this. I really, really hope for athletics' sake, and for athletes, prospective athletes out there, and former athletes, that there has not been this much collusion related to sports. Because when I finally earned my spot on the Iowa soccer team, it was the greatest, and still is, one of the greatest achievements in my life. And if they somehow took that opportunity away from somebody else, like it looks like they took 2 spots, I don't know. I really don't know. But just the idea of it, if they took somebody else's, I mean, it's just devastating, and it's just so wrong. Again, I think it's important to remember, because a lot of people have hive mind, that it's really not the girls. Like the girls don't have a say in this. It's their 100% their parents. It's a really poor parenting decision, and just moral decision, financial decision. It's just stupid. I mean, those requirements are there to, if you can't get into a college based on requirements, then you shouldn't be there. And there's people like literally joining the military just so they can afford college. Like that, how fucked up is that these people are getting in, because their parents paid their way in. Clearly they had to bribe their way in, so they couldn't do it on their own merits. So it's like, think about like the students that didn't get in, who had followed all the rules, It's so wrong. It's just so wrong. Anyway, I'm not going to keep harping about it. Like, I keep saying the same thing over and over, but I really wanted to give my perspective from a former athlete's point of view to kind of drive home the point that this is wrong on a lot of levels. I'm really surprised. And again, I don't think it's fair to go after the girls, really, because again, it's their parents. So this is so wrong. Felicity Huffman, Lori Loughlin. I'm sure we're gonna find out more people pretty soon, but and just as a student now, like I'm just a regular student. I'm still in college. I'm trying to forget. My parents are going into debt over it. I'm going into debt over it. I'm in debt. It's just so annoying. It's annoying. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this situation, and let's get a discussion going. I'd love to read your comments, and I'll try to respond as many as I can. So, bye.